Alright guys, on this video we're gonna go deep on how to read candlesticks and why candlesticks are so important when it comes to trading. The important thing about candlestick is one candlestick is giving you 4 points of information, right? So we have here a candlestick chart and can easily read the trend, the levels. We can see point of interest based on the candlestick shape, but a chart without candlestick is this. So can we have a lot of info without candlestick? It's a little bit more difficult. So I can definitely see this downtrend here, right? This uptrend here, and I can see double top here. We're great. We can see double or triple top here, and we can see kinda based around here, support here. Okay, so we can see that, right? But nothing else. So let's go through the basics of candlesticks, and then I'll explain you guys how I use candlestick for my trades. Okay, let's go first with the basics. Candlestick basics. This is a bullish candlestick. We have the high of the candlestick. We have the close of the candlestick here. We have the open. So basically the candle opened here and then it went higher. And then here we have the low of the candle. When it comes to a bearish candlestick, this red one, we have here the high also just like the bullish, but it is the other way around. So we have the open here, and then the candle went all the way to the bottom to close here, and this is the low just like the bullish candlestick, right? We all know that. That's basic. So why is this so important? Because with candlestick, what it does to the chart is like basically sending you a message of what might be the next move in the market, right? We have here kind of graph how to read the candlestick based on strength. We have here the most bullish candlestick to the most bearish candlestick. The thing about this chart is I want you guys to really pay attention to the shape of the candlestick, not so much the color. For me, the way that I trade, I think the most important thing about candlesticks are the shapes. So the bigger the body, the stronger is gonna be the move, the continuation of the move, right? So when you have big all full candlestick like this one here, this red is bearish and this one green is bullish, it means on the green ones the bullish move, it's very strong, high volume, and most likely you're gonna have continuation to the bullish side, to the upside. When it comes to bearish, again, the bigger the body, the stronger is gonna be the continuation on that direction. So this is the bearish. If you have a strong bearish move, most likely it's gonna continue to that side. And then we have all these from here to the middle. It's gonna be the strongest to the weakest one. So see how each one of these candles have wicks. Wicks for me are very important part of trading, because every time I see a wick, it means the market has a very strong reaction at that level. Wicks at the top are strong reactions of support, of resistance. Wicks at the bottom are strong reactions at support, and we're gonna see that on a real-time chart. So let's go with candlestick patterns. We have bullish engulfing and bearish engulfing. Basically what it means is if the candlestick this one is green and it's bigger than the one before that is red, most likely the market is going to start to change direction. So if we have a bearish move and the candlestick before this one are red, and then you have a green engulfing candle, that means that the market is starting to turn bullish. And if the candlestick is red like this one, so this is a bearish engulfing candle, you're gonna have, so you have a bullish move coming, you have green, 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 let's just say you have green, green, green candles, and then you have a red bearish candle that is bigger than the candle before. Most likely, you're gonna see the market turning into bearish. All right, so keep this in mind because these are very important when we're trying to read the trend on the market. Now, my favorite candlestick pattern and that I use all the time is the shooting star at the top and the hammer at the bottom. But something that is very important here is understanding that just because this happens doesn't mean that immediately it's going to change direction, but we need to be careful, we need to pay attention, take these candlestick patterns into consideration. So how I use this pattern, the shooting candle star has a strong wick at the top. It means that it's rejecting strongly a resistance. So if I'm trying to use this pattern, I want to see it at a strong resistance. I'm just gonna take this trade if the candle is forming at a strong resistance. And with the hammer, which is most of the time indicating a change of direction or a bounce coming, I like to use this candlestick at a strong support. Again, use these two candlesticks at this one, the shooting star, at a strong resistance, and the hammer, use it at a strong support. How do we use what we learned here? Okay, so we can see here a engulfing candlestick and what happened after. We have a change of direction here. We had clear uptrend. We have an engulfing red candle, and then the market just went down, right? We have exactly the same thing here. We have the market going up, bearish engulfing candlestick, and we have a change of direction. What is happening here? So we have previous day low here. Wait a minute. Previous day low here, rejecting, previous day low, rejecting, strong resistance, rejection candlestick, and then what happened? We go lower, right? What happened here? What is happening here? We have a bearish engulfing, we have inside candles, it means it's inside the one before, we have rejections, we have a bunch of stuff happening here. Using just one aspect of the market is not gonna make us a good traders. We need to use everything that we learn and use it everything at the same time to take a plus setup. So how do we use candlestick? We use candlestick based on, first of all, the market structure. The video that I filmed before, the first video on this video course. So market structure is just consolidating here. Yes, this candlestick is very strongly bullish. We have a very strongly bearish. We have a long wick here at the top. We have rejection. We have a long wick here at the bottom. We have bounce out of support, but nothing is happening because the market structure is just in consolidation. It's not bullish, it's not bearish, right? So keep that in mind when you're reading candlestick on a chart. You also need to pay attention to market structure. And the bigger time frame that you use to read candlestick, it's gonna be most likely the bigger move. So we can see engulfing candlestick in the same shooting star or hammer pattern on any time frame. But if you see it on a 5-minute time frame or a 1-minute time frame, it's not gonna be as strong as on a daily time frame or on a weekly time frame. So keep that in mind. The bigger the time frame, the bigger the move. So this is the daily time frame. Let's go with a smaller time frame. We have a perfect example here of the shooting star. So we have this strong resistance level. Well, this is resistance, and we have a rejection here. Shooting star rejection here. And how do we use these patterns on a trade? Besides knowing what's the shape of the candle, noticing how the wicks react, we use it also for stop losses. So if I'm looking to trade, let me take this out so you guys can see it better. Okay, so we have strong resistance here, right? And I want to go with puts, or I want to short the market. How do I use these candlesticks, right? My entry will be here or a little bit higher if I can, but my stop loss are those wicks. Look at the wicks, the wicks, the wicks, right? So that's my stop loss. My stop loss are those wicks, and my PT is the next big support that it will be down here or here. Let's just put it here, even here. So whatever you want. But you use those wicks as your stop loss. And then let's see how it went after. There you have it. Look at here. Let me take this out. Look at here, this reaction right at this support. Look at this reaction here. What is this candlestick telling me? This candlestick has a big wick at support, which means wicks means strong reactions there. For me, it doesn't matter if it is red or green. If I see a wick, I need to pay attention that that level is important, right? And if we have this hammer here, most likely we either gonna change direction or we're gonna have a strong bounce, right? I don't know what's gonna happen after, but this week, strong reaction at support, support, resistance, 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 support, right? So it's an important level to pay attention, and based only on this reaction and obviously what happened in the past, I know that most likely I need to either get out of this trade or take most of my profits, right? I don't know what happened next. Let's see. Okay. Look at this. And it started to get a little bit choppy there. So yeah. But see how that will be a good, very good level to get out. And that's how you use candlesticks and wicks. For me, wicks are extremely important when I'm reading candlesticks. I know you guys heard me out and say a lot of times when we're talking about a trade and I'm saying, I'm waiting for confirmation. Like, what does that mean? And how I use candlesticks for that. Let's see a good example of that. I'm waiting for confirmation. Okay, so I have this support here, right? We're having resistance, support, 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 support. Look at the wicks. Wicking, wicking. So look at this candlestick. big reaction here, right? Long wick at the bottom. For me, it doesn't matter if this candlestick is red or green. The only thing that matters to me is it has a long wick, aka very strong reaction. And I know that this level acted as support before. If I see this or this, I will say I'm waiting for confirmation that this level it's gonna hold, that this is the level that I want to play, right? So what does that mean? It means I want to see bullish candlesticks, which this one is a perfect example, that is gonna tell me that this level is really holding. So we have this candle, this long wick candle, that is looking pretty bullish, but just one candle after such a strong move to the downside, it's not really like a go for me, right? I will wait a little bit more. I will wait a little bit more confirmation. So you see how it's like rejecting, goes slower again, and it's giving me very bearish candle here. It's rejecting at the top, so it means it's rejecting this resistance. You have a bigger body than the one before, and it's making lower high and lower low. So there, I still have no confirmation that the market wants to hold this little level, right? And then we have the next one. It's a indecision candle. And the next one is a little bit more bullish because we can see the body of the candle. It's a little bit bigger, but it's still not engulfing the one before. So like enough of a strong move for me to be confident on trading the upside. So here we have a bunch of nothingness because it's not engulfing this candle. It's not breaking any high. We can see on this smaller time frame is kind of reacting this level, right? So we have this reaction, and the candlestick are not doing much. They're holding. They have a bunch of wicks at the bottom, but it also have a bunch of wicks at the top, which means indecision, nothing. And then we have the next day, it looks like a gap up and then a strong reaction. But what happened here? What happened on these candles after? We have the next candle. It's an engulfing candle. It's bigger than the one before. It's a bullish engulfing candle, and it's using this previous resistance as support, and it has a wick at the bottom. So it's engulfing, so most likely it's gonna change direction. It's using previous resistance as support, and then it's making a higher highs and higher lows. So it's giving me three messages there, right? That most likely it's gonna go higher. So that will be my entry. My entry will be a clear sign of this previous resistance is acting as support. So what happened on the next candle? Yes, it's a red candle, but it doesn't matter to me because it's holding this support. It's an inside candle, so it means it's smaller than the one before. And then it's giving me a wick at the bottom. A wick at the bottom again is a strong reaction, and then that will be my entry. So how do I trade this? We have this, my stop loss will be here. And what's my PT? My PT will be my next big level. My next big level is this level of resistance. That's my PT. So it is a 3.48 risk to reward trade. Perfect. Anything that is 2 or above is very good for me. That's how you use Candlestick to help you to trade besides the market structure, besides level. But again, the shape of the candlestick is the most important thing besides the color. The color to me doesn't matter too much because you can have long wicks at the bottom or at the top and can be red or green, and it doesn't matter because what matters is the reactions. When really matters the color of the candle is when we have big candlesticks like this one, right? You want to see what color it is so that way you know most likely where the market is gonna go. So if you have a bearish engulfing candle, the candle is bigger than the one before, most likely the market is gonna go that way. So we have, look at this, we have small candles, we have a bunch of candles here. Look how it's showing rejection, rejection, rejection. It doesn't matter what color are these candlestick. What matters is that it's sending you a message that is rejecting, 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 rejecting here. And then we have a engulfing red candlestick and lower highs and lower lows. Again, it's not like 1,000% certain. You need to use everything that the market is telling you. Like, this is a good example that is, you cannot just think that the market is gonna go in one direction only with candlestick, because we have here this bullish engulfing candlestick, and what happened after? A few hours after, the market just died. Don't just look blindly to candlestick, but candlestick are a very important part of my trade. I do not find my entries or my trades based on candlestick. It's more based on levels, but I know when a level is holding or is rejecting based on candlestick. So we already talked about market structure. Now this is a class about candlestick. On the next one, we're gonna talk about levels, stop loss, my PT, and how I use the daily 30-minute and 5-minute candles. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.